The night wind murmurs through the ancient trees surrounding Collinwood, sounding like hushed voices speaking in whispers. Voices from the past, whispering from a void that transcends time. On this night, the voices may be heard most clearly in the forest surrounding a gloomy, forbidding old house. For there is one in that house who would transcend time this night, who would cause the past to merge with the present, who would cause the land of the living to merge with the land of the dead.
Everything's ready.
Good.
When will they get here?
Soon.
What's that you're looking at? Isn't that
A volume of family portraits.
the people whose costumes they're going to wear to the party?
Yes.
Oh, I'm still surprised. Mrs. started and all the rest of them went along with this party.
Only because I know them better than you. They were delighted with the idea, especially Miss Winters.
And she didn't object coming dressed as Josette?
She couldn't have been more delighted.
And Mrs. started?
She agreed to come dressed as Naomi Collins.
Your mother?
Yes. It will be like seeing my mother again. The resemblance between the two is striking.
Who's coming dressed as your father?
Roger. He bears a less pronounced resemblance to my father, but a certain resemblance is there. I look forward to their arrival. It will be like meeting again.
Whose picture are you looking at now? Isn't that
Jeremiah Collins.
Josette's husband?
Yes.
Well, why did you hate him so much?
Because he stood in the way of my happiness and Josette's. I loathed him more than I ever loathed another human being. Every moment I saw him, I longed for his death. And with Burke Devlin cast in the role of Jeremiah, we will once more meet again. Tonight.
Listen to that wind.
What about it?
It's so loud tonight. Louder than usual.
You're behaving rather strangely, kitten.
For some reason, I feel sort of nervous.
Nervous? I don't know why you should.
I don't either. But I have been all day. Ever since I tried on this costume. I have a very odd feeling about wearing these clothes.
Nonsense. The costume is very becoming.
I guess I'm just being silly. We'll have a good time at the party.
Of course we will. You know, I think that party's a good idea. Not only for us, but for your mother. Oh, it'll get her out of this house.
Yes, I know.
I'm actually looking forward to it. Even though, thanks to Vicky, it won't be strictly a family affair.
I'm glad Vicky asked Burke. Uncle Roger, please try to be civil to him.
Well, I'll meet him halfway, kitten, but Mr. Devlin and I will never be the best of friends under any circumstances.
Even so, you should make the effort.
Roger.
Liz! Well, I should say Naomi. My dear, you look splendid.
I really don't want to go to the party.
Now, Liz, you promised and you're already dressed. Well, that's nonsense now. Barnabas has gone to a lot of trouble. His feelings would be slighted if we didn't come.
Uncle Roger's right, Mother. You don't want to hurt his feelings, do you?
No, but...
Now, no buts about it. You can't back out. If you don't enjoy yourself, I'll bring you home, but you must at least put in an appearance.
Well, all right. I'll put in an appearance.
That's better. Now, can I get you a drink?
No, thank you.
Am I the last one?
Well, Vicky. Well, it's like seeing a portrait of Josette Collins.
That's quite a compliment, thank you.
You look lovely, Vicky.
I've never seen a dress so beautiful, and I've never felt so elegant in all my life. I only wish it were possible to dress this way all the time.
I'm just as glad we don't have to dress like this all the time.
Why not? I'd love it. I know I would.
Well, your Mr. Devlin is not very punctual, Vicky.
You go on ahead. I'll wait for him.
I think perhaps we should. We're a few minutes late already. I don't want to keep Barnabas waiting.
Then you go on, and I'll see you at the party.
Carolyn?
I'll get my wrap.
Liz, you coming?
Yes?
We'll see you later.
All right.
This time, don't disappoint me. Let me come to you. Accept me. I've waited so long for you, Josette.
Your guests are here.
All of them?
All except Miss Winters and Burke Devlin.
I see.
What are you doing with that?
Why do you ask?
You planning to give it to Miss Winters?
Possibly.
Well, I don't think she'll accept it.
Why not?
I just don't. Now, you said you wanted her to come to you willingly. Now, that's not going to be as easy as you think.
Isn't it?
And even if she does, there'll be others who'll stop her.
Others?
Burke Devlin, for one. He won't let her come to you.
I don't think that Mr. Devlin will pose much of a problem.
What are you planning to do with him?
What makes you think I'm planning to do anything with him?
I know you. I know you're planning something. What is it?
Willie, my plans are my own. Now, my guests are waiting.
What are you planning,
I
Barnabas?
said my guests are waiting.
The accuracy in the restoration of this room is uncanny. I almost feel as though I had stepped into the past.
So do I, and I'm not sure I like it.
Neither am I.
Well, you two surprised me. I thought you would enjoy this charade. I thought it would appeal to your sense of the romantic.
This room is lovely by candlelight. I will say that.
Yes, I quite agree.
Good evening,
Good evening, Barnabas.
Elizabeth.
We were just congratulating you, Barnabas, on the reconstruction of this house. I think you've done a remarkable job.
Thank you. It was a labor of love.
Yes, obviously.
Barnabas, you look so much like the portrait of your ancestor, dressed in those clothes.
I'm not unique in that respect. We all look like the portraits of our ancestors, particularly you, Elizabeth. Dressed that way, you have a striking resemblance to my...
Great-great-grandmother?
Yes. May I offer you some claret cup?
Thank you.
Oh, by all means. I'm very fond of it.
You always were.
What?
I mean, your ancestor was, Joshua Collins.
For a moment, I thought you had me confused with our ancestor.
Well, it gives me great pleasure to think that for a moment we're living in the past. But then I tend to take these things too seriously.
Oh, you'll be amazed at Vicky's resemblance to Josette. I was, certainly.
Really?
Yes. Oh, she and Evelyn ought to be here by now.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was awfully nice of you to let Vicky invite Burke.
It will be a pleasure to have him.
And at any rate, there'll be a Jeremiah Collins to escort Josette. After all, it's only appropriate. They were man and wife.
Yes.
According to the stories I've heard, they were very much in love.
That's not true. I'm sorry.
Is it?
But there's so many false versions of the old legends, and hearing them tends to make me very impatient.